Sorry. Happy Valentine's Day in the wonderful City Hall of Somerville. I want to thank the mayor so much for her wonderful support in hosting this event to celebrate Valentine's Day, to celebrate life, and to celebrate the idea of registering as an organ donor when you get your driver's license at the RMV. My name is Matt Boger. I'm here with some of our staff representing New England Donor Services. We are the federally designated nonprofit organ procurement organization responsible for the transplantation and identification of donors here in Massachusetts and here in New England, with other OPOs focusing on all the other states. Our job is to help save lives through what I call the miracle of organ transplantation. I want to make sure that it is clear organ donation is very, very rare. It does not happen often. In fact, you're more likely to need a transplant than to become an organ donor. But on days like this, on days of celebrating hope in life and celebrating love, we think it's appropriate to think about registering as an organ donor and getting that red heart on your driver's license. I'll go over some facts and figures, but I do want to thank the mayor for her wonderful time, for her wonderful leadership in this great community, and spending her valuable time focusing on this specific topic. Mayor, thank you so much, and I appreciate your time today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, and good morning, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. Today we are here to celebrate love, not just the chocolate and flower kind, but the kind that lasts, the kind that changes lives, and the kind that quite literally keeps hearts beating. Now, I know talking about organ donation on Valentine's Day might seem a little unconventional, but when we think about love and hearts, we usually picture candy hearts, not checking that little heart on our driver's license. But what better way to celebrate love than to giving the gift of life? Organ donation is one of the most profound acts of generosity. By saying yes to being a donor, you are making a decision that could one day give someone a second chance, a parent, a child, a friend, or even a total stranger who just wants more time with people they love. Here in Massachusetts, registering as a donor is as easy as marking that little heart on the RMV or signing up online at mass.gov/organ donor. It just takes a minute, but it can make a lifetime of difference. So if you haven't already considered making this Valentine's Day extra special, give a gift that truly comes from the heart. And with that, I am honored to present the New England Donor Services with a proclamation designating February 14th as Having a Heart and Giving a Heart Day in Somerville, a day to celebrate love in its most life-giving form. So thank you to the New England Donor Services for your incredible work, and thank you all for being here today. Let's spread the love and maybe even save a life.
Wonderful. Very poetic. Thank you, Mayor. Really do appreciate that. Mayor, wonderful. Thank you so much for those wonderful remarks. It was honestly very poetic and appropriate and addressed almost everything I wanted to say, so thank you so much. I do want to thank you and your leadership in bringing attention to this cause. No matter what community you are in, someone has been personally touched by organ donation. And as you said, we work extremely closely with the state here in Massachusetts and throughout New England and in all 50 states in that, again, the DMV, RMV, or BMV is where most people register. Here in Massachusetts, 98% of all people who register as an organ donor do so through that state agency. They have an important job of presenting that question. Again, it is a voluntary question. You can check the yes box or you don't have to. That being said, it is not a neutral question. Both the state and federal government strongly supports organ donation and puts it on a state document that's seen by the vast majority of the public in all 50 states when individuals get their ID license or driver's license. I do also want to recognize and thank Kate from the Department of Public Health. They do a wonderful job helping support another public health issue. I have to give her great credit. Public health is a massive job that represents everything from cancer, AIDS, to ticks, to colds, and we are in that as well. So your breadth of knowledge is magnificent. So I appreciate you helping focus on this issue that is different than any other public health issue in two specific ways. A, when we're talking about donation, we're not talking about a financial donation. We're talking about registering as a donor. So the donor idea is, again, something that provides love and hope to other individuals, again, realizing organ transplantation is very rare. Second of all, we're not looking for a cure. We know what a cure is, in that if an individual is not using that organ, sadly has passed away, there's other individuals who could be saved through that individual, and their legacy continues on. I also want to make sure it's clear, again, that organ donation is very rare. Only 3% of all deaths happen in a manner where one could potentially become an organ donor. Again, it is very rare, and we work very hard here at NEDS, New England Donor Services, to save people's lives. We are a staff of over 380 people strong throughout New England. Our office is open 24 hours a day, and we are focused 400 days a year. I understand that there's more days than a year in that data, but it shows how passionate we are of what we do. Most important, I do want to indicate there are 103,000 people today in the United States waiting for a life-saving transplant. Here in New England, that's over 5,000 individuals waiting for a life-saving heart, liver, pancreas, kidney, etc. And what we want to do is help educate individuals to provide hope. Not be an organ donor, but register as an organ donor and the opportunity to help save a life. I do want to thank again the RMV, Massachusetts Department of Public Health, and the state. We work very closely with the governor as well. We have billboards that promote that idea to bring this information out in public. The mayor is a wonderful speaker. I may say that our two next speakers may be even more impressive individuals. These are people who've been personally touched by organ donation. I'm so pleased to have them share their story. I could say so much about Kenny, but I will refrain and let him do his own speaking. So Kenny, thank you for being here. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you all for being here. I wanted to ask the city of Somerville, what does hope mean to you? Hope to us means registering to be a donor, saving a life of an individual. I myself had a life-saving heart transplant 24 years ago. I would not be alive if it wasn't for the power of donation, power of transplant, and the wonderful innovations we have today. What I say a lot, too, about transplant is a transplant not only saves the life of the individual, but it does so much more. It has a ripple effect. My wife and I were able to get married, buy a home, build a family, and I have two boys, 13 and 9, that wouldn't be alive on this earth today if it wasn't for the power of donation and the power of someone being a donor to be able to help save a life. My tie today, I bring this special tie for these events. Matt's very appreciative of that. This tie, as you'll see, has a little gold heart on it, and that gold heart is in memory of my donor, and that donor stays with me and reminds me each day of how lucky I am to be alive. The other piece I like to bring into is the donor family. The donation not only saves a life, and you'll hear from Susan shortly, saves a life, but provides a legacy and a long-standing impact to that family as well. But there's so many things that donation does and being a donor does, but it provides hope. And you registering to be a donor, and it gives hope to the thousands of recipients or intended recipients waiting to be transplanted, providing hope, giving those patients hope to know that someday they will get their transplant. It's certainly a pleasure to be here, and I can't thank everyone enough for taking the time to recognize this day, taking the time to have the mayor here and the city of Somerville. We appreciate the collaboration and support. We couldn't do it without the entire community. It does take a village. Thank you very, very much for having me, and again, I'm honored to be here. And as a side note, as I close, I am also a proud employee. Not only did I get saved by a transplant, but now I'm employed by New England Donor Services, and it's an honor to be able to pay it forward each day. So thank you very much.
Love Kenny's stories. In fact, I've been working with Kenny so long that during one of the presentations, it was before one of your children were born. And I heard it at a presentation, and being given a second chance of life and then giving life through, that was really amazing. And God bless your wife for keeping up with you for 18 years. And yes, I do love that tie. It was a very good one. As Kenny mentioned, there's two sides of organ transplantation. There's the wonderful miracle and celebration of people who are alive today because of that gift. And on the other side, there are family members who miss their loved ones, but realize their loved one's legacy continues on living through someone else. I'm so pleased to call a good friend, and have worked for several years with Susan Flint, and she's going to share her story here. Thank you, Susan.
My son Lucas, my only son, he was killed by a hit-and-run driver in 2018, December. And he died he was hit on the 15th, and he was declared on the 18th and gave his organs on the 20th. But on the 17th, they approached me and asked me if I would be willing to give his organs, because it was part of, I have had family members receive and give organs. It was always a topic. So I said, yes, of course. But after I said yes, they came to me and said he was 21 years old. He never had a driver's license, never. And he applied to be an organ donor without my knowledge when he got his permit. So it made me very proud that he was listening to the family buzz. So that's good. But he gave 5 organs. He gave his 2 kidneys, his liver, his left lung, and his heart. And that got me through the most horrible time in my life, knowing that he was, in fact, never going to be the same, but that he could give his organs and make 5 people live 5 days before Christmas in 2018. Their houses must have been abuzz with happy, while mine was miserable. So, but I too have a billboard, and that's up by the Braintree DMV. I put it up in April of 2019. It gets such a response from the Braintree community, especially little kids. Because he was 21, but little kids see him as a boy, as a son, and they find it you billboard boy's mother. That's what they ask me when they see me. And I think that's wonderful. I'll go by that. So, of his recipients, I've heard from 3, and Teddy, who received his heart, is now my friend. I will talk to him this afternoon. I sent him a Valentine. I've met him twice. And this is a picture of Teddy at Lucas's Memorial Park. So it's a place I go to reflect on my boy, and here we are, this man who has his heart. So it's full circle, and if there's any way to become and remain happy after something awful like this happens, I found it. I found it with Teddy. I found it with this community of Donate Life, and it gives me purpose, and it gives me drive, and it lets me talk about him for the rest of my life, and no one gets bored. And because Valentine's Day, I had to bring this, and Lucas would clobber me. This is him at 3 months old, dressed as Cupid, and it's my favorite picture. It hangs every Valentine's Day. So all I can say is, please think about signing up to become an organ donor, because I have referred to it as like life insurance. You're not going to benefit from it, but somebody else will. So And it doesn't hurt. You can do it on your phone. Thank you.
Susan, thanks so much, and that is a cute picture. I will note that Lucas Park is a great place to go in Braintree. We had Congressman Lynch go and celebrate that as well. But today is about life. Today is about opportunities. Today is about love. We want to remind people to hug the people that they love and recognize the wonderful work that they do each and every day, and to register as an organ and tissue donor. We thank the state for their wonderful support regarding organ donation. We thank the RMV for presenting that question each and every day. Would you like to register as an organ and tissue donation? We thank the Massachusetts Department of Public Health, the governor and the legislature for sponsoring events that help support organ donation and educate the general public and encourage registration. And I say this often, I do want to thank the media. There's a phrase that if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? It does if there's someone to catch it. And I want to thank Channel 25 and the great community network here to show this wonderful, there's a few people here, but through you guys we can bring this message to a greater population and help educate. Again, it's not a required question, it's a voluntary question, but something that's greatly supported, and the idea of love and hope of the heart is one that we greatly appreciate. So thank you everyone for your time. Before everyone goes, there was 2 stories on NPR this morning. One was our story about having this event, so we really appreciate that. And the second one was the cost of chocolate apparently has increased. So that is of great concern. I have chocolate for everyone, so you don't need to do that. But Mayor, thank you again for this wonderful event. Yeah, really do appreciate that. Yeah. Awesome job. Really great job. Good stuff. We might do one more photo.
It's working.
What a great day. What a